Alright guys, so this is going to be a bit of a different video than I usually do. We're going to look at the Starfield official gameplay reveal. It's 15 minutes, it's gameplay, cinematics, and Todd Howard kind of talking about the game. I figured I'd do one of these just because this is a game I've been more excited about than almost any other game. Um, I can't really think of one I've been more excited for, especially after seeing this. So we're gonna go through it and kind of break it down, if you will. Again, I've never done one of these videos, so we'll see how it goes. The wonder is not that the field of stars is so vast, but that the man has measured it. Anatole, France, 1894.
Control, this is Constellation Starship Frontier. We're ready to start on your signal. Maintaining exit vector course. Steady till ready. Coordinates input. Plotting jump course.
And we'll watch the whole video first, without pauses or anything, and then we'll kind of go back through the important parts. So that's how we'll do it.
Grab jump commencing in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Starfield.
It's hard to express how excited all of us at Bethesda are to be here with you today. We're so grateful you're spending the time, and we know you've waited a long time to finally see Starfield. It's easily our most ambitious game ever. Like our previous games, it's an epic role-playing game where you get to be who you want and go where you want. But this time, you'll be exploring space. So let's jump right in. This is early in the game as you arrive on the mysterious moon of Crete.
So one thing too to remember, everything that Microsoft is showing or has shown in their thing has a release window of 12 months. So everything that they show, they expect it to be out by this time next year. So the earliest we'll get Starfield, or the latest we'll get Starfield hopefully, is June of next year. But the earliest is obviously January, February, since they've delayed it to 2023. So hopefully February. That's a down month for me anyway. And if you watched any previews, we've seen this robot Vasco before. It's kind of a companion, I believe.
According to the scanners, the abandoned research facility is in this direction. It would appear that pirates of the Crimson Fleet are using the facility.
After some initial encounters, you're invited to join Constellation, who, in the future the game is set in, are the last group of space explorers. To meet them, you'll head to the capital city of New Atlantis.
Welcome to Constellation. We have a lot to talk about. We're all here because we're committed to the biggest question of all. What's out there? These artifacts could be everything we've been looking for. As to what they are, what they're building, you'll be part of solving that puzzle now.
So, you found something?
The new guy found it.
You dug up the artifact, right? That means you saw it. The visions?
The artifact you found appears to be one of many, scattered across the galaxy. If we can find more, we can unlock their secrets.
Beautiful, isn't it? The man who sold me this told me that it spoke to him.
Of course, the Settled Systems is full of groups with other priorities.
That's the Crimson Fleet!
Everybody get ready!
The fleet doesn't follow the rules. Agree to work for UCC staff. And together, we take down these cutthroat pirates.
We're not just here to shoot the bad guys. We're peacekeepers. We protect the people of the Free Star Collective.
When you sign up with the Crimson Fleet, no one quits. The only way out is death.
The path ahead may be dangerous, but we are not stopping.
Most Dusties don't even make it this far.
Because whatever lies at the end of this road will change humanity forever.
That gives you a look at the stories in Starfield. But ultimately, it's not our story, it's the story you create by who you are and the choices you make. And that starts with character creation. It's our most flexible yet. You can customize all the elements of how you look. You'll pick a background that gives you 3 starting skills.
Says here you spent some time as a diplomat. Having a way with words might prove useful.
There are optional traits, and these come with unique advantages and disadvantages. But it's not just in how you can look, but in how your character plays and develops. The skill system combines the best from our previous games, and you can unlock new skills as you level up, and then you rank those skills up by using them and completing challenges. And there's deep crafting systems, from running research projects with resources you find, to crafting weapon mods needed to survive. And you can build your own outposts. These act as a home away from home for survival and resource generation. You can choose where and how to build each one, and you can hire characters you meet to keep it up and running. But that's not all. You can even build your own spaceships. You can choose crew members, and yes, you can completely customize the look and layout. There's loads of different modules, ship manufacturers, and more. I have to say, it's so cool. We just absolutely love this. It's not just how the ship looks, it's how it performs, from engines to shields to weapon systems, because yes, you can fly it.
Thrusters boosted.
We can't wait for all of you to experience the game. Thanks again for being with us today, and thanks for all the support you've given us over the decades, especially on this game. It's been an incredible journey for us making it, but we know that's really only the beginning, for it's when all of you play it that the real journey begins. And you may be wondering, just how big is this game? So we thought we'd take one last moment and show you. Let's take a look at one of our planets, Jemison. You can land into Atlantis, but you can also land and explore anywhere on the planet. And it's not just this planet, it's all the planets in the system. From barren but resource-heavy ice balls to Goldilocks planets with life. And not just this system, but over 100 systems. Over 1,000 planets, all open for you to explore. We can't wait to see what you find.
Okay, so that was the full reveal of Starfield. Now, they are going to have an extended Xbox Bethesda showcase on Tuesday. I'll definitely be checking that out. I don't know if it's going to have more Starfield, if it's going to have any of the other games from the developers that Xbox has and also that Bethesda has, because we didn't see anything from Machine Games. We didn't see anything from id. We didn't see anything from a lot of In Exile. We saw a small Obsidian game, but I think that was that in the PC Gamer one, or was that this one? I can't remember. We did see a small Obsidian game, but anyway. If we go back down to the beginning. Okay. So, right off the bat, let me Turn it really far down. Why did the settings go all wonky? Alright, so from the beginning of it, this part is obviously a cutscene. We may not actually see this type of thing in the game, except for maybe the beginning of the game or something like that. And the only reason I say that is because Bethesda is not really known for having cutscenes. In their old engine, in Fallout 3, I think even New Vegas, they actually couldn't have cutscenes. They had to work around that. But as you see here, this is probably whenever you land and get off of your ship. And as you can see, if we pause it, this looks like is your compass and your overall HUD that would normally be up here. You know, you'd have your compass up here with all your waypoints and markers and everything where your enemies, allies, locations, all those types of markers would be. It looks like it's all consolidated down here, which I think will make for a much more immersive experience because it looks to be, you know, you're in space. You would want some kind of meter you could always see with your O2, your CO2, and a compass on it anyway. You know, very realistic. And I believe as Todd has said previously, they're trying to make a much more grounded space feeling, or whatever it is. I can't remember. It was a while ago. But this is where they are. Okay, if we pause here, this scanning, now this reminds me of a lot of games that have this. Bethesda hasn't really had a scanning thing in their games before. You know, because they've really only made Elder Scrolls and Fallout. And you see a lot of that in this game. But it has how far away it is, what it is, and you see survey, 66.6%. That's an odd number to be up there, but okay. Resources 5 of 8, fauna 0, so there's no fauna, and there's 2 flora. And obviously once this is fully surveyed, okay, 13% scanned. So once they have scanned all of, you know, one type of flora, I'm guessing 1 of 2. Their scan range is 50 meters, current biome is 50%. And over here, also when you go into this, it tells you the temperature, 7 degrees, I'm guessing Celsius. Well, it could be Fahrenheit, but since this is in metric, I'm guessing Celsius. 1% O2 and 0.55 gravity. So maybe different gravities. Some maybe you'll be able to jump and you'll float a lot more. You see down here as well, there's your health meter, your weapon, which is cutter, which we'll see in a minute, I'm guessing. Right here you got a pistol, semi-auto. Walking, it seems okay. It could be a little floaty at times, it looks like, but that's fine to me. And I'm guessing this right here, switching to third person view. Now if we go back, what's that called? Crete Stalker. Okay, I just wanted to get a look at the name. So Crete Stalker, I mean, possibly they've never discovered this creature before, so it's just named after the planet, you know, so it's Crete Stalker. Don't seem to be hostile, they just walk away. So not every creature in this is going to be hostile like a lot of their games, you know. And here we go. There's a lot of, here's the resources. So Phi or iron. There are 8 resources. They found 5 of 8. That's about it from that. But as you see here, it uses the cutter, which is a tool. The ammo or whatever it is doesn't go down, so you don't have to worry, it seems, about having to refuel that. Okay, so this is one thing that I hope you can turn off in settings or maybe move it somewhere else on the screen, but it's the XP right here. I don't think a lot of people would really want a big XP box right in the middle of the screen every time you get XP, because as you can see from later on in the video, you get XP, every time you kill an enemy. If you kill 10 enemies within, a few minutes, that's going to be very annoying to see that. So either that they can change before the game releases, or you can just do something in the settings with it. So another thing I'm wondering is what this is right here, because this is obviously north, that little thing. Okay, so scanning this ship, it just tells you basically Crimson Fleet ghost ship. Not too much there. They do have a photo mode, so that's interesting. A guide. Again, interesting. I'm wondering if that is a guide on like things that it's showing you how to do. Or maybe it's basically like your list of objectives. Not sure. Another thing I really like too is your weapons have the ammo counter right here so you can see it. And you'll see later on with the pistol as well. Which makes me think, okay, then I can just turn this off too, because I can see my ammo right here. So you can basically have everything off but this and make it even more immersive if you want to. Let's turn it up a little bit more. They have pirates, which I'm guessing are the main bad guy faction, like Raiders in Fallout, and whatever is in Elder Scrolls. I haven't played Elder Scrolls in a long time. Now the combat so far is faster than all the other games, faster than Elder Scrolls obviously, since that's mostly a melee focused game, mainly magic. And it's even faster than Fallout 4, which Fallout 4, I think they vastly improved the combat. I love the combat in Fallout 4. But this is faster and it's not too bad. As you can see, they switched the weapons to the shotgun, and I wanted to focus on the shotgun. I really like the look of it, but I don't see anywhere where it would show you your ammo. I'm guessing it's just 2, so you would always know, shoot it once or twice and you're done. So now the lock picking system I actually really like. I like it better than the other ones, even though they make sense in the other games. But you have digipicks, and this is security level novice, so this is one of the easier ones, it would seem. And it looks like you pick the ones you need first, so obviously this is the outer ring, so you would need these 2 over here, which you would need the furthest away, so that would be these, right? No, it would be these. Yeah, okay. Slightly curved, so that and further away than closer ones. I like that. You get a new gun, which this gun actually looks like the Institute laser rifle from Fallout 4. So again, it's fine reusing assets. I don't care about that at all. This combat sequence is the only one is the only one that looked a little odd to me. This guy just kind of walking away. Obviously, it could be going to that ship, but a little weird that they kind of hesitate in firing at you. Let's actually go back a little bit. Right here, when you're using the jetpack, as you can see, it has a boost ability. So right there, the boost. So it's not really a jetpack. It's just used to kind of move yourself around. So like if you were out in space, you know, you would just maneuver with it. You wouldn't be flying like on a planet with, you know, full gravity. You couldn't fly. So it looks like this maybe just to get over some gaps or something like they're doing right here. And they jump cut, which makes me feel like they failed jumping their first try and maybe died, so they had to do it again. So that's kind of funny. This makes for you know, a good epic battle though, jumping across while firing. Okay, so we'll skip this and we'll go to the cities. The cities look nice. They have a decent amount of NPCs around, from what we can see anyway. I really like the look of the watch. The watch is really cool.
Welcome to Constellation.
Really good facial animation there, facial
We're all here.
graphics.
The biggest question of all.
Better than they've had.
There. These artifacts could be everything we've been looking for.
Now again, that's obviously your
What they're
the main point of the game. You know, you find all these artifacts, figure out what's going on, and
will be part of solving that puzzle.
all of that.
So, you found something?
The new guy found it.
You dug up the artifact, right? That means you saw it. The visions?
The artifact you found appears to be one of many, scattered across the galaxy. If we can find more, we can unlock their secrets.
Beautiful, isn't it? The man who sold me this told me that it spoke to him.
Of course.
Now, so far, we've seen a lot of different, I wouldn't say biomes or locations. They actually look fantastic. I will say, I think the worst part of the game, and I don't mean this in a bad way, I think the worst part of the game is going to be the main story. I think that's going to be the part that's kind of like, it's kind of boring. To me. I think everything else is going to be much more interesting. Just because of what I've seen so far, it doesn't look to be too engaging. Now, if they have, because they didn't show it in the trailer, if they have audio logs and stuff like that, like they have in Fallout, that have, you know, character stories and stuff like that throughout the main story, as well as side stuff, that can reel me in. But the main story of like, oh, these relics, you have to find them throughout the galaxy and stuff, I don't really care.
Settled Systems is full of groups with other priorities.
That's the Crimson Fleet!
Everybody get ready!
The fleet doesn't follow the rules. Agree to work for UCC Steph. Together, we take down these cutthroat pirates.
We're not just here to shoot the bad guys. We're peacekeepers. We protect the people of the Free Star Collective.
When you sign up with the Crimson Fleet, no one quits. The only way out is death.
So that right there, we just saw basically 3 factions. You saw Raider types, the Crimson Fleet. You saw Alcala or whatever. What is it?
Shoot the bad guys. We're peacekeepers.
You see peacekeepers right there. And then
Follow the rules. Agree to work for UCC Steph.
UCC. So
These cutthroat pirates.
3, maybe more factions you can join. It'd be very interesting joining the pirates and having the main story
When you
revolve
sign up with the
around
Crimson Fleet, no one
or
quits.
continuing with the main quest while being a pirate. Be very interesting.
The path ahead may be dangerous.
0G creatures that we look back. Of course, Fallout's creatures never looked too good besides like death claws. They look really cool. But this one looks really cool. Look at it's got basically 2 mouths, it looks like. Looks really cool.
But we are not stopping. Most Dusties don't even make it this far.
Because whatever lies at the end of this road will change
That looks
humanity
amazing. The visuals are
forever.
For a Bethesda game, they're stunning.
That gives you a look at the stories in Starfield. But ultimately, it's not our story, it's the story.
So the character creation, I think this is going to be the best that they've had. Now you have your biometric ID, which is basically just going to be, you know, your ethnicity and stuff like that. And it does say can be changed later. So if you don't like it, you can always change it.
It's our most flexible yet. You can customize all the elements.
Now this part is what I think is gonna win a lot of people over. The fact that you can make your character a more heavy set character. Now I doubt it's gonna play into the gameplay at all. It would be cool if it did. If you're, you know, a heavier character, maybe you lost stamina quicker or something like that. And then if you were a really thin, like scrawny character, you got hurt easier. You know, you had less health or something like that. That would be really cool. And you could have not perks, but you know, a trade-off. Maybe you got hurt easier, but you know you're quicker and quieter. You're heavier, but you have more health. You're less stealthy. You're muscular. You have more health, but you're not stealthy. And you don't have quite as much as a heavier person. You know, that would be really cool, but I doubt they would go that in deep with it. But anyway, I think this is going to be really cool. The fact that you can make a heavier character. I'd be like right in here. I'm really small and thin with a tad muscular on there, so it's like just super normal, I guess.
Of how you look.
You have a walk style too. That's pretty cool. I'm wondering how many of those they have. Can you make yourself walk really goofy? I may do that. Right here, skin tone, head shapes, hair color, eyes, all basic stuff. It does look like they got rid of sculpting that they had in Fallout 4, which I never really did anything with. I'm not that, you know, whatever. And right here you have background. So we've seen background in Outer Worlds. We've seen background in a lot of other RPGs. Outer Worlds just being the most recent that I've played. And let's see, the first one they have is Chef. While the unrefined masses scarfed down chunks by the shipload, you catered to those with a more discerning palate. In your kitchen, countless alien species became true culinary masterpieces. So you start with 3 skills. Now these skills you can get later on, but these what you would just start with and don't have to use a skill or a skill point or whatever to get. Gastronomy. You can craft specialty food and drinks and research additional recipes at a research lab. So, you know, crafting food and stuff. Dueling. Melee weapons do 10% more damage, so it kind of makes sense. You know, you're a cook, you're well knowledgeable with a knife, you know. Wellness. Immediately gain 30 points of health, I guess because you eat right. If we look at them here, there's not a ton. As you can see, it goes down a little bit, so you probably have, let's see, 3, 6, 9. You probably have, I want to say 20 to 24, somewhere in between there. Let's keep going.
Background.
Combat medic, pistol certification. So pistols do 10% more damage. Med packs heal 10% more. Increase total carrying capacity by 10 kilograms. And another thing we're noticing is you're not having crazy, weird starting skills. They're all basic things. And again, that goes back to what I said before, where they have mentioned this is going to be more grounded. You know, it's not going to be like you get a slow motion or a slow time thing like Outer Worlds, or VATS like Fallout, you know.
Gives you 3 starting.
Cyber Runner. This one again comes with pistols, but also security. You can attempt to hack advanced locks, and 2 auto attempts can be banked. So I feel like Cyber Runner, if you're going for like lock picking and speech, because you see persuasion here, gain an increased chance of success on speech challenges. If you're going for that whole thing, be a great one for you.
Skills?
Oh, cyberneticist. Okay, that was just
Starting
that.
skills?
Here we go. Med packs, but robots. You deal 10% more damage to robots and turrets. Lasers. Laser weapons do 10% more damage that we saw. We did see laser weapons. So all cool. Diplomats.
Says here you spend some time as a diplomat. Having a way with words might prove useful.
There are options.
And as you see there, your background, they seem to notice that in dialogue. I'm wondering if that's going to play a big part, or is that just going to be kind of like Cyberpunk, where you would have that, Nomad or Street Kid and the other one. And really the only difference in the game was that very beginning part. What are they going to do? Are they going to weave it through the whole game or just that beginning? Be interesting. And right here you have traits. So traits, again, you have in the older Fallouts, you have in a lot of older RPGs. First one here is introvert. Perfect. You really need your alone time. You have more endurance when adventuring alone, but less when adventuring with other human companions. Can't be combined with extrovert. As you can see, check mark on introvert, but an X on extrovert, meaning you can't get that one as well. So you will be getting human companions, along with possibly robot and animal companions. Be pretty cool. And we see, you have a good and a bad side to everything. So,
Traits, and these
shoot. Kid stuff. Your parents are alive and well, and you can visit them at their home. But 10% of all your money you earn is deducted automatically and sent to them. So, this one right here, I'm not sure why it would be useful. Possibly a free place to go at the beginning where you can heal up, store stuff, but you lose some of your money. Not sure. It seems a little odd. Be interesting to find out. Neon Street Rat. You grew up on the main streets of Neon. You gain access to special dialogue options and better rewards for some missions on Neon. Crime bounty by other factions is greatly increased. Can't be combined with any other faction allegiance trait. So, Neon Street Rat, Raised Enlightened, Raised Universal, Serpent's Embrace? With any other faction allegiance trait. So we don't see any other faction, it seems. Or perhaps United Colonies Native and Unwanted Hero. Maybe those would be the other two.
with unique advantages.
Raised Enlightened, you grew up as a member of the Enlightened. You gain a significant discount at the organization store, but lose access to Sanctum Universum store. Okay, so that's a religion. I'm guessing Raised Universal and Serpent's Embrace might be the other ones. Discount at the church store. Alright. That's the Enlightened store.
Disadvantages.
And then Serpent's Embrace. You grew up worshipping the Great Serpent. Grav jumping provides a temporary boost to health and endurance, but health and endurance are lowered if you don't continue jumping regularly. Like an addiction. Can't be combined with any other religion, so you have to constantly jump. Okay. Spaced. Your body has become acclimated to space. Health and endurance can be increased when in space, but decreased when on the surface. Now, that's a funny one because I would assume you're not in space nearly as much as when you're on a planet. Now, if it's even a 70-30 split, I would be very impressed. Starter home. You own a small house on a peaceful little moon, but it comes with a $50,000 credit mortgage with Gal Bank. Wow, that's interesting.
But it's not just in how you can look, but in how your character
As you can see too, it's not just spacesuits, so we will be, of course, you saw the cities have, normal wear, So that'll be interesting to see the customization there.
Plays and
When it's
develops.
not, you know, just Raider gear and Wasteland apparel
The
and
skill
stuff.
system combines
Okay, so we have our skills here. You have 5 different skill trees: physical, social, combat, science, and tech. So, sniper certification, current rank 0-4, unlocked skilled weapons are steadier and have less sway. Okay.
It's the best from our previous games, and you can unlock new skills as you level up.
Okay, unlock new skills as you level up. So, ballistics. They have right now rank 3. Ballistic weapons do more damage. Challenge progress 250 to 250. So kill 250 enemies with ballistic weapons. And that means they can get the rank 4. Ballistic weapon range is increased by 30%. So I think that's pretty cool. That goes back to a mix of Skyrim and Fallout. You have your combat tier, but then you also have, you know, different things in that combat tier. And as in, I think it was Skyrim, and I think even Oblivion and stuff like that, the more you did stuff or used those weapons, it would level it up and make it better and better. In this one, it'll do that, but you also have to get that rank. It doesn't just give it to you.
And then you rank those skills up
Oh, the animation or the little picture changes. I like that.
by using them and completing challenges. And there's deep crafting systems. From running research
Okay, so deep crafting systems. So it looks like you have 5. Oh, we'll hear them a little bit.
projects with resources you find.
Okay. We'll go back again. Okay. So you have 5. Pharmacology, food and drink, outpost development, equipment, and weaponry. I have a feeling I'll be doing weaponry, equipment, more than anything else. And it looks like available projects. So you can probably get way more as you advance in the game. But right now they are researching a helmet mod, resource extraction, and a medical treatment and performance enhancement. But nothing for these 2 yet.
Resources
So that's pretty cool. And then right here, research projects. So barrel mod. Okay, so the progression here. And these are blocked. I'm wondering... Okay, so barrel mod 2. So you have to research 1 before 2, obviously. Require materials, iron, nickel, and sealant. So again, you're going to want to pick up those materials on the planets. Let's see. Anything down here? Not really.
find to crafting weapon mods needed to survive.
Now this looks really, really cool. It looks better than that pistol you had before. Combat Tech Eon. Then right here again, you got the how many you have. Diseased Siren. But as you can see, they're on Alpha Endraced 2. So probably a populated planet that they have discovered. So these are named creatures. I'm guessing unlike the first planet that they've never discovered. There's pirates there. So the animals are just named, you know, for what the planet is. I could be wrong though. Now that is a little weird. It says 20 here but 28 there, but possibly just a bug. It's still early. As you can see here, the enemies are on this little HUD, which again, I like having this small thing instead of a huge compass right here. I like that. The pistol sounds like it has weight as well, so that's nice. Diseased Metropus Floater. Now we have floaters in the first few Fallout games and then in Fallout 76 as well. So these are very interesting. Level 15, so they're quite, they're either in a high level area or they're leveled up. Angler Hexapod. Now this one is interesting. Again, you have your well, it's outpost, but you have a build limit just like in Fallout 4, Fallout 76. You have your line just like in those games as well. I'm guessing though with this you probably can build just about anywhere, where in those games you were very limited. Um, and again, that goes to you have worlds that probably have no people in them. You know, it's just creatures and flora, fauna, stuff like that. Whereas in the worlds with cities and people, you probably can't build very many places. Whereas in the Fallout games, you could only build in specific locations because there's, you know, people populated everywhere, or building other buildings everywhere. You know.
And you can build your own outposts. These act as a home away from home.
And this building is way better than how Fallout is. Fallout, it's in the first person mode. It's tough to figure out if things are looking the way you want. It's tough to snap things sometimes because it's buggy. Building requirements are right here. Only 2 iron. It's insane. So it's very cheap to build. Unlike nowadays. But yeah. I'm wondering how big the limit is going to be because in Fallout it's not very big. You see everything right here. Outpost airlock. That's pretty cool.
For survival and resource generation.
So resource generation, I'm guessing what these things can do right here are basically windmills, so you can power your place with that instead of having to have a alternate power source.
You can choose where and how to build each one, and you can hire characters you
Now hire characters.
meet to keep it up and running.
That's an interesting one. Is it going to be like Fallout 76 or Fallout 4, where you can have people there but they do nothing? Or they just stand there and hammer on a wall all day? Or is it going to be more like, are they actually going to be doing a proper job, like getting resources, maintaining the place? Can you talk to them and have conversations once in a while? Or is it just going to be a static hi? That's the sort of thing. I really hope they address that before the game comes out.
But that's not all. You can even build your own spaceships.
I think this is going to be an amazing aspect of the game.
You can choose crew members.
I have the same questions as I have with the hiring people at your outpost. The crew members, I know they're not going to be, but they need to be like Mass Effect for anybody to even care. You need to be able to have conversations with them and get to know them. I know it's not going to be like that though.
And yes, you can completely customize the look and layout.
This is going to be amazing too. So as you can see right here, he's going to put this in, and that the engine's probably going to go up a little bit because, you know, that's the engine. Well, it's really a thruster. And that's what you need. But Class A, engine thrust, maneuvering thrust, engine health is at 48. The engine health, or the health overall, is 100. Every spaceship needs engines. Upgrade to increase speed and acceleration. Mass of entire ship will affect performance. So the mass is 100. That's interesting. So the bigger your ship, I'm guessing, you know, the slower, the less maneuverable. So not as good for combat, which we see later. Yeah, here's a shield, cargo, crew. There's only 2 people. Jump range 30 light years. Mobility is only 49 again. I'm guessing that's based on what they have on it already. Top speed is 150. And as you can see here, they're buying that stuff. So negative 120,000. They have 1 million. The vendor has 400,000.
There's loads of different modules, ship manuals.
Now this is insane. Now I have a feeling most of it's gonna come down to just customization, where you feel what looks better. Because if now it'll be awesome if it's that all this is very important to down here and not a lot, most of it just being the same. And you look, you also need a skill, starship design. Okay. I do have a feeling though a lot of it's just going to be mostly just for looks. I have a feeling that all of these aren't going to be vastly different in specs, but it would be insane if it was.
Manufacturers and more. I have to say, it's so cool. We just
That's
absolutely
amazing
love
too.
this.
You can customize pretty much everything. Make the Nostromo, just make a
It's
huge
not just
oil
how the
rig.
ship looks, it's how it performs, from engines to shields to weapon systems, because yes, you can fly it.
Now, being able to fly in a Bethesda game, use a vehicle, is insane because they've never been able to use vehicles before. In Fallout 3, when you use a monorail, you aren't actually driving a vehicle. It's somebody with a hat on, and the hat is the monorail. It's hilarious. And again, all this down here looks incredibly realistic. That's really cool. You have your balance, engine, shield, gravity, whatever that is. Whatever this is. I don't know what it is. Looks cool though. Your speed right there. Balance, LAS, ML, MSL. You have combat. That's really cool. Now, as you can see here, it says target lock. I have a feeling that's going to be your 90% the way that you hit ships, because this is their first time having vehicles, and it's space travel. Driving a spaceship. This is probably where they're going to have the most bugs, I would feel like. So you'll probably have to lock on to most things in order just to hit them. I could be wrong though. So again, there's no sound in space, but obviously they put the sound of exploding for effect, and it sounds cool. I don't mind that. Right here. I wonder if this is maybe a derelict ship and you're docking and boarding it. You know, you might find some pirates or something, or maybe it's a ship that needs help and you're docking and see what they need. This could be really cool if you just find ships out there and you help them, or you loot them and stuff like that.
We can't wait for all of you to experience the game. Thanks again for being with us today, and thanks for all the support you've given us over the decade. So we thought we'd take one last moment and show you.
Showing us how big the world
Let's
is,
take a
or
look
the game
at one of our
is.
planets, Jemison. You can land in New Atlantis, but you can also land and explore anywhere on the planet.
Oh, that's really cool.
And it's not just this planet, it's all the planets in the system.
Now this is really cool, that the fact that you can go to all the planets, you can land anywhere, pretty much anywhere. I know you probably won't be able to land anywhere. Little lies and all that, you know. But obviously you can't land on the sun. But yeah, I think that's going to be insanely cool. And it says right here you surveyed 16%. So if each one of these that means 1, 2, 3, 4. It looks like they surveyed 4 and they need to survey all the rest, so that's cool that they have that. I love that they have a percentage of what you have surveyed.
From barren but resource-heavy ice balls.
Now that right there, it'll get to it in a second. That's probably going to be 70% of the planets. Barren. Where you get all your resources, all your minerals, your, the iron and stuff like that. For building, crafting, everything. And that's okay.
To Goldilocks planets with life. And not just this system, but over 100 systems. Over 1,000...
Over 1,000 planets, over 100 systems. That's why I say over at least 70% are going to be those barren ones. I say at least 70 because if you only have 30, even if you only have 30 that are populated and have stuff to do, that's an insane amount of content and hours you can put in exploring. Because holy hell, that's going to be a lot.
Planets, all open for you to explore.
And you got to assume it's some procedurally generated.
What you find.
You know, there's probably a lot that's handcrafted, maybe hundreds, but you got to think there's probably, you know, that 70% might be procedurally generated. And all this looks amazing. Look at that. If we go back, is that the Mars rover? Is that an Easter egg? We'll find out. Looks amazing. I mean, that right there just looks beautiful. Great place to explore and just walk around, maybe. Starfield. Now, I can't wait for this game. They, you know, hopefully they've learned a lot from their Fallout 76 mishap, and they have moved on from their older engine. I think it's not a completely new engine. I think they just basically upgraded it. But obviously, if they're able to do this, it's way better. And if we see more in the Tuesday showcase, depending on how much it is and how in-depth it is, I'll go over that as well. Let me know what you think of it. I can't wait. Any worries? The only one I have is that I'm not going to care too much about the main story. But, like I said, if they have great side stories, great audio logs like they do in the Fallout games, you know, 3, New Vegas, even 4, and 76, great voice acting in 76 in those audio logs, that'll win me over right there. Because I'm fine with combat. I'm fine with if it's janky. You know, I don't care. I love New Vegas 3, 4. I just want the story, I want the exploration, and I want that space and crafting to be amazing. So, yeah, tell me what you think. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was my first one. It was kind of a long one at an hour, so hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you.